Back here, we're trying to again piece together the final moments of the 4 airline flights yesterday, specifically United Airlines Flight 93 that went down in Somerset County, Pennsylvania. Miles O'Brien tracking that with more information of what may have taken place on board before that plane crashed. Miles?
Well, Bill, let's remind our viewers once again of the flight path of United Airlines Flight 93. Take a look at this information, which comes from Flight Explorer. This is based on Federal Aviation Administration radar data. The plane left Newark Airport at 8:43 in the morning, flew all the way out toward Cleveland, did a 180-degree turn, flew over Pittsburgh, and then ultimately crashed in the Somerset County area. There's a good look at that track without it animated. You can see exactly what it did. The big mystery has been, why did it go down there when it appeared to be homing in on the Washington area? Well, we've just heard from some people who had a relative on board that plane, Jeremy Glick, who was traveling with his 2-month-old child, Emerson. During the course of when it became apparent this was a hijacked aircraft, he called home. In the course of that conversation, people at home, his mother and his wife, called 911 operators, conferenced them in. But during this conversation, it became evident to Mr. Glick that there had been a plane which had crashed already at the World Trade Centers. He put the phone down, according to his family members, shortly, came back on the line and indicated that he had just taken a vote among the men on board this plane, and there were a total of, it was a sparsely populated plane, only 38 passengers, had taken a poll of the men on the plane and had made the decision to try to overpower the hijackers. We don't know what happened then. The line went dead. We do know that this particular flight did not make it to the Washington area. There has been some supposition that it might have been intended to strike the Capitol, perhaps. Camp David is one of the targets. We don't know that for a fact, but the fact is there was a vote, according to a member of a passenger on that flight, a vote to overpower the hijackers. Subsequent to that, that flight apparently went out of control and crashed into this rural part of Pennsylvania. Just one more piece of the puzzle here as we go through these flight paths and piece together this information. Almost each of these flights has at least one phone call or some sort of conversation or air traffic control communication which is giving us some sort of insights as to what was going on board. Bill?
And Miles, and while we discuss this, was there any information given? The Attorney General described 3 to 6 men on each airplane. Any description given of the hijackers at that time and the number on board that plane?
Well, there was a description that was given. I cannot relay it to you right now. I don't have that information. There was an indication that there were 3 hijackers on board that particular flight. We have heard that on some of the others there were 2, but in this case we heard there were 3 hijackers on the flight.